You love your dog. That's not the question. The question is, does your dog know it? Because here's the uncomfortable truth that dog psychology reveals. The way humans naturally express love is often not the way dogs receive it. And without realizing it, millions of dog owners make small, everyday mistakes that leave their dog feeling confused, anxious, or emotionally disconnected. This isn't about bad owners, it's about a communication gap, one that, once you understand it, you can close forever. In today's episode, we're going to walk through 10 of the most common mistakes that make your dog feel unloved, and what to do instead. If you've ever wondered why your dog seems distant, anxious, or uncertain around you, pay very close attention. You come home. Something is destroyed. A pillow, a shoe, maybe the corner of your couch. And you feel it, that flash of frustration. You call your dog over. You point at the mess. You raise your voice. Your dog cowers, tucks their tail, looks guilty. And you think, they know what they did. But here's what dog psychology actually tells us. They don't. Not anymore. Dogs live in the present moment. Their memory of an action fades within minutes, often seconds. What your dog is responding to isn't guilt about what they did. It's your current emotional state, your elevated voice, your tense body language, your pointing. They're responding to you right now. They're afraid of you right now. That expression you're reading as guilt, it's appeasement behavior. It's fear. Your dog isn't connecting your anger to their action. They're just trying to survive this moment with you. And when this happens repeatedly, when a dog learns that your return home sometimes triggers unpredictable punishment, they begin to associate you with anxiety, not safety. Hugging is one of the most natural things humans do to express love. It means, I want you close. I care about you. You matter to me. Dogs don't speak this language. In canine communication, placing a limb over another animal's body is a gesture of dominance, not affection. It triggers a stress response, even in the most gentle, well-socialized dogs. Studies using behavioral observation have consistently found that most dogs show signs of stress when hugged, turning the head away, licking their lips, showing the whites of their eyes. Your dog may tolerate your hug, they may even stay still, but tolerance is not the same as comfort. And when a dog is repeatedly placed in situations that trigger stress, even small, subtle stress, they begin to feel unsafe in your presence. Love your dog in the language they understand, not the language that feels natural to you. Monday, your dog is allowed on the couch. Wednesday, you scold them for the same thing. Saturday, a guest lets them up. Sunday, you push them off. To you, this might seem like minor inconsistency. To your dog, it creates a world without reliable rules, and that is psychologically exhausting. Dogs don't just want to please you, they need to be able to predict you. Predictability equals safety in canine psychology. When a dog cannot predict which behavior will be rewarded and which will be punished, they enter a state of chronic, low-grade anxiety, always uncertain, always slightly on edge. This is one of the most common reasons dogs develop what owners describe as strange or difficult behavior. It's not stubbornness. It's the psychological response to an unpredictable environment. A physically tired dog is a good dog. Most owners know this, but what fewer owners understand is that a mentally unstimulated dog is an emotionally suffering dog. Dogs are cognitively complex animals. Many breeds were developed to solve problems, to track, to herd, to retrieve, to guard. When that cognitive drive has nowhere to go, it doesn't simply disappear, it turns inward. It becomes anxiety, frustration, destructive behavior, and depression. A dog who stares at the wall for hours, who barks at nothing, who destroys things not out of mischief, but out of desperation, is a dog who is mentally starving. And a mentally starving dog cannot feel fully loved, no matter how comfortable their bed or how full their bowl. Your dog is speaking to you constantly, not in words, in a subtle, sophisticated language of micro-signals that most people never learn to read. The yawn when things get tense. The lick of the lips before a stressful greeting. The slight turn of the head away from a stranger. The whites of the eyes showing in a tight corner. These are calming signals, your dog's way of saying, I'm uncomfortable, I need help, I need you. When owners consistently miss or ignore these signals, dogs learn one of two things. Either, I must escalate, and they move toward growling, snapping, or biting because the subtle messages weren't working. Or, there's no point, and they shut down emotionally, becoming withdrawn and disconnected. Both outcomes are a breakdown of trust. Both begin with a human who wasn't watching. Dogs don't fully understand your words, but they understand your voice with extraordinary precision. The tone, the pitch, the rhythm, the emotional weight behind every sound you make, your dog reads all of it, instantly. Research shows dogs process the emotional content of speech in the same brain hemisphere humans do. They know when you're tense. They know when you're impatient. They know when you don't want to be bothered. When a dog lives in a home where the prevailing emotional tone is stress, sharpness, or irritability, even when it has nothing to do with them, they absorb it. They carry it. It becomes their baseline emotional state. Over time, a dog raised in emotional harshness becomes a dog who is always slightly braced, always waiting for the edge in your voice. That is not a dog who feels loved. The walk is not just exercise. For a dog, the daily walk is the primary way they experience the world, process their environment, and decompress emotionally. Every smell on that walk is a story. Every patch of grass is a newspaper full of information about who has been here, what emotions they carried, what happened. Sniffing activates the dog's brain more intensely than almost any other activity. It is mentally exhausting in the best possible way. When dogs are denied consistent walks, they lose their main window to the world. They become understimulated, over-aroused at small triggers, and emotionally confined. A dog kept indoors without adequate outdoor time often develops behaviors that owners label as problematic, but are actually symptoms of a basic need going unmet. The walk is not a luxury, it is a psychological necessity, and taking it away consistently sends a message your dog feels in their body. The world outside is not for me. When humans want to be taken seriously, we make eye contact. We hold it. We lean in. We believe this communicates confidence, authority, presence. In dog language, prolonged direct eye contact is a confrontational signal, a challenge, a threat. When you stare hard at your dog during a correction, especially leaning forward, tense posture, raised voice, you are, in their language, threatening them, not training them, threatening them. The dog who looks away, yawns, turns their body sideways is not being disrespectful. They're performing appeasement behavior because they feel genuinely intimidated. Repeat this dynamic often enough, and your dog learns to be afraid in your presence. Not respectful, not responsive, afraid. You are physically present, but are you actually there? Modern life is full of screens, notifications, and mental noise, and dogs, who evolved to read human attention with extraordinary precision, notice every moment you're not truly with them. It's not about the quantity of time. Research into human-dog bonding consistently shows that the quality of interaction matters more than duration. 10 minutes of genuine, undistracted connection, eye contact, touch, play, calm presence, does more for your dog's emotional well-being than hours of shared physical space where you're mentally elsewhere. A dog who cannot reach you, whose attempts at connection are met with distraction or dismissal, begins to give up. They stop trying. They withdraw. And then owners wonder why their dog seems indifferent. They're not indifferent. They learned that trying doesn't work. This one is subtle, but in some ways it may be the most important. We love our dogs so deeply that we sometimes forget what they are. We dress them in our needs. We structure their lives around our comfort. We correct their natural behaviors, the sniffing, the rolling, the digging, the enthusiastic greeting, because they inconvenience us, or because we want a perfect dog. They're not indifferent. They learn that trying doesn't work. This one is subtle, but in some ways it may be the most important. We love our dogs so deeply that we sometimes forget what they are. We dress them in our needs. We structure their lives around our comfort. We correct their natural behaviors, the sniffing, the rolling, the digging, the enthusiastic greeting, because they inconvenience us, or because we want a perfect dog. Your dog does not need to be perfect. They need to be free, within safe, loving boundaries, to sniff, to play, to feel wind and grass and the extraordinary richness of a world their senses perceive in ways we can barely imagine. Let them be a dog. That is one of the greatest acts of love you can offer. 10 mistakes. 10 moments where love got lost in translation. The punishment that came too late. The hug that felt like pressure. The rules that kept changing. The walk that kept getting skipped. The moments you were there, but not really there. None of these make you a bad owner. They make you human. But now you know something different. And knowledge, in the hands of someone who truly cares, becomes change. Your dog is not asking for perfection. They are asking for predictability, safety, presence, and the chance to be understood, even a little.